What's going on, y'all? So I hope this Monday was good to everyone. Now that we're wrapping up towards the end of it, it's about to be Monday Night Football or whatever. But for starters, I do want to give a shout out to Chateau Saint Michel, Cabernet Sauvignon. Now they have a really good Riesling. This is how I first found out about them because I tried a Riesling, but I never knew they had a Cabernet Sauvignon from Columbia Valley, so Washington State. Typically, I'm big on Napa Valley. Napa Valley is my thing. Vintage year 2019. Give it a try. It's not too dry, so it's not high on the acidic level or whatnot. So it's pretty good. At the same time, your wine connoisseurs. I know this is a white wine glass, but my red wine glass is broke in the dishwasher, so I gotta use my white wine glass. Okay. Cheers. Cheers to 9/11 as well. Yeah. On that note, I wanted to bring something really quick to your attention. I wanted to kind of backtrack. I don't know if you remember a couple of days ago, I released a video talking about JP Morgan buying a Class A property, commercial space property from the California Teacher State Pension Fund. And of course, just anyone would be like, well, why is the pension fund selling a Class A property? And your Class A property being one of your best. When it comes to real estate, they have Class A, B, C. A being your best, your high credit tenants, your high net worth tenants, barely late, if ever, missed a rent payment. And this is the headquarters of Activision, which is a video gaming company, headquarters of GoodRx, pharmaceutical company. So some really good tenants. And JP Morgan was able to take this off of the hands of like I said, the California Teacher State Fund for about 169 million. It was on the market for 180 million. JP was actually able to take it over for 169. No vacancies, 100% occupancy. That is huge. Now, why would a pension fund, a retirement fund, do this? Well, it's actually been a trend over the past year and a half, 2 years since COVID. Think about office spaces. Think about the trend because of now you have hybrid, you have your work from home, you have your remote, whatever you want to call it. There's less demand for office space. So retirement funds are actually getting out of, they're offloading the office spaces and they're getting into lab spaces. They're getting into infrastructure such as airports. They're also getting into housing. So there's a shift that we're now seeing out of commercial office spaces. What does that mean for us? Who knows? Right? Does it mean that the commercial real estate space is going to crash? Who knows? This is a time where we're able to put things into perspective following your bigger institutions. And when I say your bigger institutions, we're going to see where this is going to go with hospitality because your hotels, depending on zoning laws and whatnot, your hotels can come in because a lot of adaptive reuse has spiked. And when we say adaptive reuse, I wouldn't say a lot, but some hotels have been taking over office spaces and then converting them into hotel rooms. So who knows where we go from here? But the point of this here is to bring to your attention at the end of 2025, there is a total of $1.5 trillion of notes of loans that are due to our banks, to our financial institutions. What does this mean? So, in certain cases, when a loan is approaching, owners would typically refinance or they would sell. Now, with credit tightening, so credit harder to obtain, and being more expensive, here's where two issues arise. Actually, a third issue. Analysts are projecting that commercial office space will drop in value by up to 40%. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. So if you go to refinance your mortgage, you are now refinancing a mortgage on a property that's 40% less than what you purchased it for. That's an issue. Let's say if you want to sell, you're trying to sell a property that's worth 40 up to 40% less than what you've purchased it for. At the same time, that buyer has to qualify for the loan to purchase that property. So it's harder for them to get capital and it's going to be more expensive for them to get capital. So what do you do in situations like this? You tell me. That's why I'm coming to y'all. What are your thoughts on this? This is where it starts to get tricky. And when I say tricky, it's just who's going to be prepared, who's going to be ready. It's not to, I'm not saying this to strike panic. I'm not saying this to strike fear, but I want you to pay attention to what's going on in the market. I want you to pay attention to what's upcoming in the commercial real estate space. Let me know your thoughts.